Chapter 6. Fix's Tricks. As the policemen were pushing the two prisoners out of the courtroom, Fogg suddenly turned to the judge. "Just a moment, Your Honor. We wish to offer bail." "You have that right. Bail will be £1,000 for each of you." "I'll pay it at once." "Very well. You are free to go." "Thank you, Your Honor," said Fogg. Passepartout sighed with relief and bravely asked for his shoes to be returned. After all, at £1,000 apiece, these are very expensive shoes, he thought to himself. Tears of joy fell down Aouda's face, and she happily joined Fogg as they left the courtroom. Fix, however, was very angry. Fogg was free again. At noon, Fogg, Passepartout, and Aouda were on the Rangoon, sailing to Hong Kong. During the first few days of their journey, Aouda got to know her protector better. He almost never spoke, but he always listened carefully to what she had to say and made sure that she was comfortable. Passepartout noticed the look of thanks in Aouda's deep blue eyes and the warm expression that crossed her face when she looked at Fogg. He wondered how his master could show no emotion before such beauty. When Aouda smiled, the sun seemed to rise in her face, and her porcelain skin shone like the finest pearls. Mr. Fogg was indeed a strange man. Page 38. Unfortunately, Detective Fix was also on the boat. Now he wanted to catch Fogg more than ever. Before leaving, he made sure the police had orders to send the warrant for Fogg's arrest to Hong Kong. If it was not there when he arrived, he would have to find ways to delay them. He hid in his cabin and spent every moment planning how he would do it. 5 days later, as the ship was on its way to make a stop in Singapore, Fix decided to leave his cabin and try to get more information out of Passepartout. The loyal valet was surprised and happy to see Fix again. When the detective asked about his trip, Passepartout openly described their adventures with Aouda. Fix was very disappointed that he could not find anything else to use against Fogg. Passepartout saw Fix several times after that, and at last, one day, he began to wonder about him. How strange that this fellow keeps appearing everywhere we go. He thought and thought about it, and finally everything became clear. That's it! He's a spy! Mr. Fogg's friends have sent him. They want proof that my master is really traveling around the world. Thinking he had the answer, Passepartout decided that it was not a good idea to let his master think that his friends did not trust him. The weather was turning bad as the Rangoon arrived in Hong Kong on the 6th of November early in the morning. Fogg learnt that the Carnatic, the ship for their next destination, Yokohama, Japan, would not sail until the next day. However, he showed no disappointment. He had 16 hours to help Aouda find her uncle. Page 40. They booked into a hotel, and Fogg asked his valet to stay with Aouda while he searched for her relative, Mr. Gigi. Aouda gave him an address, and Fogg went there, only to find out that her uncle was no longer living in Hong Kong. A neighbor told Fogg that Mr. Gigi was living in Holland now. When Fogg told Aouda, she asked, "What do you think I should do, Mr. Fogg?" It's very simple. Come with us to London, and then we'll find your uncle." "Oh, I don't want to be any trouble to you." "Nonsense! You are no trouble. Passepartout." "Yes, sir." "Go to the Carnatic and book 3 cabins." Passepartout took the money he needed and left the bag with his master. When he bought the tickets, he was told that the ship would be ready to sail at 8 o'clock that night instead of the next day. On his way back to Telfag, he saw Fix behind him. "Go away and stop spying on us," shouted Passepartout. "No, my friend, you've got it all wrong. Let's go somewhere to talk." In a little cafe, Fix told Passepartout the truth. "I'm a detective. I'm following Fogg because I believe he may be the man who robbed the Bank of England." Fix told him the details of the robbery and showed him the police description of the robber. It made Passepartout feel guilty when he wondered how Fogg could get so much money so quickly. "If you help me delay him until the arrest warrant arrives, I'll share the reward money with you." "Never! Mr. Fogg is a good man, and even if he did rob a bank, I wouldn't help you." Fix realized he was not going to get any help from Fogg's loyal valet. But he had another trick up his sleeve. While Passepartout was in the gentleman's room, Fix slipped some sleeping powder into his tea. When he returned and finished his cup, Passepartout could not keep his eyes open. His head fell onto the table, and he was fast asleep. The detective left feeling very pleased with himself. Now Fogg would not get the tickets, or know when the ship would sail. He left the cafe hoping that Fogg's trip would be delayed long enough for him to get the arrest warrant.